In this video, I want to share with you briefly some aspects of the anatomy of a non-mammalian cynodont, in this case Thrinaxodon lyrinus. First of all, I want you to observe that the lower jaw pictured here consists of multiple bones. The one that I'm pointing at with the cursor is the dennary with the big coronoid process, and then these are several different bones behind the dennary, the post-dennary unit, as it were. And the jaw joint itself is shown here. That's the quadrate, and the articular is just on the other side of that, plus a number of other bones. Another fact of this specimen that's worth noting is this very large stapes bone. It's still small enough that it could conceivably convey airborne sound from the lower jaw towards the inner ear, but compared to a crown mammal, it's much bigger. It does have a few other similarities, though. It's perforate, for example, so you see that obturator foramen, or that hole that I'm pointing at with the mouse cursor. Another interesting aspect of this animal's anatomy is the fact that the braincase is this structure that I'm circling now. It's open anteriorly. There is no cribriform plate like what you would find in a crown mammal. That's the site where the individual olfactory nerves leave the olfactory lobe of the brain and enter the anterior part, or the anterior part of the skull, or the snout, the rostrum. The posterior teeth, the cheek teeth here, so you can see a canine. It's broken at the tip there, but the other teeth are intact, fairly intact. They're multicuspid, so they're not simple cones, but they don't really have this basin and cusp occlusal anatomy that you find in most crown mammals. This is not a tribosphenic animal. And then finally, another interesting aspect of the anatomy is the fact that no matter how big these specimens are that you find in the fossil record, you generally find replacement teeth. So that's the apex of a cusp of a tooth that's forming in the crypt. And as this animal ages, it's going to slowly replace the tooth that's just below it. And the same is true in the lower jaw. So here's another tooth forming in the crypt. That's the part that eventually will erupt and help this animal eat. And generally, no matter, like I said, no matter how big the specimens are, you find every other tooth locus in a Thrinaxodon is showing one of these teeth that's about to erupt. And you don't see that in crown mammals. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.